Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Design Review Board meeting, Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Calling this meeting to order, I will ask for approval of tonight's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Seconded.
Also, a consideration of the minutes from the September 18th Design Review Board meeting. If there are any amendments.
I didn't see a thing.
All right, and a motion to approve.
So,
And a second?
second.
Did we get a second?
I seconded.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We will move on to our public comment. And this is for non-agenda items only. If you would like to speak during a public hearing agenda item, your comments will be considered during the public hearing portion of the meeting when that item is considered by the board. Are there any public comments? Anyone on Zoom? All right, we'll move right along to our first item, which is a continuation of consideration of DRB 25-14 freestanding sign. Darwin Turner of Cannon Beach Design Company on behalf of David Spruce LLC. Application in a limited commercial zone. Application will be reviewed against the criteria of municipal code chapter 17.62 signs. Staff report, please.
Good evening. The applicant proposes the installation of new freestanding signage for mixed-use building at Elk Run Village at the intersection of East First and South Spruce Street. Application materials state the sign will be constructed from 1 3/4 inch cedar. Wood will be supported by 2 6 by 6 inch posts. It will be single sided and have an area of approximately 20 to 25 square feet. The sign will provide space for free tenant identifiers similar to other multi-tenant buildings in the downtown area such as Sand Harbor Square. The sign will use natural wood coloration, black and paint, and will even. Applicants exhibit A2 submitted on October 7th. Depicts the sign as having black posts and a black border, a naturally finished cedar body, a gray banner, and gilt lettering. The sign will include a prominent oval art piece depicting elk standing in front of a stone wall. The oval and lettering will be surrounded by a blue Pantone 646 border. All placeholders for building tenants will be provided. And that concludes the staff report.
Thank you, Robert. Is there any additional correspondence?
No.
And presentation by the applicant.
Okay, question. Turner Field Rock Story 8 can be. Questions on.
Well, my question is, it says colors, natural cedar, black, gold leaf brown, black what, brown what?
Well, I think new. I submitted a new that,
Oh, there's a new one.
yeah, shows.
Yeah, that was in your packet.
Yeah, it says muted blue,
That.
Pantone
It's elk
646.
tan, brown,
Okay, yeah.
elk colors.
Yeah, I was looking for this Pantone thing, I didn't see it. Am I hitting the wrong thing?
It's exhibit A2, page 1. So I was curious about the elk and the haystack rock. I mean, always, it's a very detailed looking,
It may not be quite
it
as
almost looks like a
detailed.
painting, so I'm curious how.
Yes, it
It's
will be
depicted on the sign.
Yeah, it will be painted, it'll be carved and then painted, but, you know, how detailed you get with it is.
Well, I hope it looks like an elk.
It's gonna look like an elk, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more stylized than what it appears there, but those colors kind of the dark browns and rust and tan.
So the elk is actually carved out, just the oval around it. Or the elk
art
painted.
will be carved, the elk will be carved,
Okay,
relief carved. I mean, how many deaths we get is still, once I get in there and work is. But it will have some, depth to it. is the plan. So.
Hmm.
Looks like a beautiful sign. Do you think you could model the elk after Eli the elk that Deb and Tia made famous? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, like, it doesn't have to say Deb and Tia on the sign, but I mean, she would probably appreciate a shout out.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but it'll it'll be. Typically, when I paint the car, some of the car signs, like Bruce's Candy, I try to do a wash, so that's, some of the wood still shows through and it's, not just stark colors, but, once you get in there, and get carving and painting.
Will you also be doing some of the business name signs to be included
Yeah,
on there
and
once
those-
those get established?
Yeah, and those will just be placards wood placards that go on.
Wood placards, okay.
Yeah, so they'll be,
Black
they'll be
lettering.
raised, they'll be half inch,
Mhm,
and those will be bolted, to the front.
mhm,
So
mhm.
So those will be carved also.
those won't be carved, those will be flat.
They'll be flat. No line.
From Sandpiper Square, well, Sandpiper Square, they're sandblasted, but.
We're trying to get away from plastic here, so, cause it just
Yeah,
keeps
no,
being
yeah,
plastic materials on everything.
no plastic, yeah,
Okay.
there won't be plastic. It'll be, similar to, Sandpiper Square, is it? But, the directory signs that
Yeah.
you see through town, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's, my business, there's old wood ones that are actually carved, and then there's a couple CNC plastic ones with a, tool path that looks like
Oh,
wood,
okay, yeah,
so
right,
fake
right.
faux wood,
The faux,
it's
yeah.
plastic,
Yeah,
and
no,
it's-
these will just be flat panel.
okay.
Wood sign. So. And just simple, black or the white letter.
All right, any other questions for our applicant? All right,
Thanks.
thank you, Dolly. All right, any proponents? Opponents? Any staff response? Additional comments? Is there a motion to approve the sign permit?
I would move to approve the sign permit.
In a second, and any other discussion, any further discussion?
I would like to discuss, but I am going to approve it, but I wanna lean, I mean, I'll bring it up more at the good of the order. But I wanna reiterate, I came to the city council saying we're getting way away from natural materials and using plastic over and over and over and over again. And it's, not the intent of the code, I feel, but we can come back to that at the good of the order. Anybody have anything, so.
All right. Well, this is a non-hearing item, so we will just take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Passed.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we will move on to our consideration. DRB 25-15. This is a quasi judicial hearing regarding, application by Andy Patton on behalf of Lumen Technologies. Application is to remove an existing wooden fence and replace with a new chain link fence. The property location is 132 West Jackson Street in a residential medium density R2 zone. The application will be reviewed against the criteria of Municipal Code Chapter 17.70.8080, design review criteria. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the Design Review Board to hear this matter at this time?
I do.
All right, if you want to come forward and.
Now, is this objection to the jurisdiction of the board or is the comment about the project?
I'm commenting about the project.
Okay, there will be time.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is it.
thank you.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yes.
hard to hear. I mean, a little louder.
Oh, okay. All right, no objections to the design review board to hear the matter at this time. Does any commission member believe he or she has a conflict of interest or personal bias? Has any commission member had any ex parte contacts or made a site visit?
Site
Site visit. And staff report.
Good evening. The applicant proposes to remove the existing 6-foot tall wooden fence at a telephone switch building and replace it with a 6-foot tall chain link fence with metal posts and chain link gates. New fencing will be placed along the western, northern, and eastern portions of the property perimeter. No new fencing is proposed in the front yard of 1 West Jackson Street. Application materials indicate the current wood fence is in poor condition, with this slats and significant rock along the bottom edge. And that concludes the staff report.
All right, and
Oh,
additional
actually,
person.
there's a little bit more here, sorry. Scroll down. So moving into the improvement criteria for fences. The application conforms to the height and clear vision requirements of the section. No new fences proposed. And application materials will indicate the following wiring is intended for use as part of the project. Continuing on, placement of the fence is consistent with the one present at the property. Off-street parking will be unaffected, the structure will obscure most of the fence from the street. The new fence will not block views for adjacent properties any more than the current fence does. And then moving to the landscape criteria, no changes to the landscape are proposed, but that's replacement. And then, sorry.
All right, thank you, Robert. We'll move into our public testimony. The pertinent criteria to be considered are noted in the staff reports and listed on the criteria sheets posted on the meeting page of the city's website. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed toward the criteria or other criteria in the comprehensive plan or municipal code with the person testifying believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal based on that issue. Prior to the conclusion of the initial evidentiary hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional testimony, arguments, or evidence regarding the application. The design review board shall grant such requests by continuing the public hearing or leaving the record open for additional written testimony, arguments, or evidence. Persons who testify shall first receive recognition, state their full name and mailing address, and if appearing in a representative capacity, identify who they represent. Is there a presentation by the applicant? All right. Any presentations by proponents? We'll ask for a presentation by opponents.
My name is Joanne Kramer and I'm at PO Box 750. Cannon Beach. I was led to believe that the existing wood fence would stay up and that they would be putting a chain link fence around the perimeter. I got this information from a neighbor of mine who sent it via, and it said that the whole wood fence would still be appearing. And the 6-foot chain link fence would be on the inside. I don't know about that. Anyhow, I've lived here for 45 years. My family has owned a home here since 1975, and I own and operate a yard maintenance business in Cannon Beach called Kramer Creations. Anyhow, so I'm opposed to having this chain link fence put up. I'm thinking, like, my concerns are well, when I thought that the wood fence was going to be existing, have you ever seen what was sent out? It shows the existing wood fence still in order, and then the chain link fence, closer to the phone company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, so it's still in order like that, or,
It looks like that.
oh, okay, yeah,
That's another describe it.
yeah,
I think
so,
the application states that it's removing the 6-foot wooden fence and replacing it with a chain link fence, is my understanding.
Yes.
well, that's what I saw too.
But in the packet, they just got the chain link fence superimposed over the wooden fence.
Oh, okay,
Is my,
Maybe just for clarity of presentation,
correct,
but I think we have to go by the verbiage that they're removing the wood.
right, yeah.
okay. So I'm completely opposed to this. What I would like to see is, because I run my business in my backyard, I'm thinking that privacy slats should be put up on this chain link fence. So that nobody can see into my backyard, because I have a lot of this expensive equipment in that shed back there.
What is your business again?
It's a garden maintenance business.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, before I thought that the existing wood fence would still be up. And so I was asking if there were going to be repairs to that fence. And I also have a question on how many no trespassing signs are allowed on one piece of property.
I don't think we have jurisdiction over that.
Oh, okay. I see.
We may, I have that
Well,
same question.
signs are.
That'll come up
DRB review.
later.
Oh,
I will ask that question on your behalf.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
interesting.
So the existing wood fence would be coming down.
According to the application, as I understand it,
Okay.
they are planning to remove the wooden fence.
Alright. But then I would want, privacy slats put in. Is that?
We're listening to your comments, we're
Okay.
gonna take all of that into consideration, so,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
We discuss and deliberate, our decision that will definitely be a consideration that.
Okay,
that-
thank you.
That we will pay attention. Thank you, Joanne. All right, anyone else care to make a comment as an opponent? Yes, forward.
My name is Helen Feldmeyer, and it's P.O. Box 8, Cannon Beach. And I'm within that designated area. Number one, I don't know why they need a chain link fence to begin with. And to me, it is totally inappropriate for the neighborhood. And I think it would aesthetically reduce the quality of our neighborhood, be maybe a little selfish about it, but it would just be very distasteful, in my opinion. And I don't see why whoever these technology people, why they need a chain link fence. And I'm very opposed to it.
Thank you. Anyone else care to make a public comment as an opponent?
There's one.
Oh,
Somebody else in the audience, so please just comment.
this is so exciting. Never happens.
I'm Mary Schessler, and I am on Jackson Street.
My PO box is 917, I think. It's a flash, I don't know what, I think it's 917. Anyway, my concern, I'm not quite clear on the application. It says the chain link fence is 6 feet high and it would extend out to the street, but not in the front. Is that correct?
It would extend to the southern edge of the building.
To the southern edge of the building. Okay, but not out towards the street then. Currently, there is, the wooden fence goes to the edge, I think, of Joanne's property, which is not the southern end of the building.
I don't know whose property's called over there, but I just thought it would be going around the back of the building.
Okay, around the back of the building, okay. All right, well, that helps clarify. My concern was if it was gonna be coming out into the front, then it's very visible to visitors. And we have a tremendous amount of busyness on Jackson Street. During the summer, we are parked full every day. And visitors are up and down that street all the time. And it's really important how we look and how we maintain the look of the community. So that's my concerns, that if it's gonna be too visible out towards the front, I think it becomes, it just doesn't show us off well, I think, as a community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I make one more comment?
Yes, of course, Joanne.
The wooden fence extends and then is, tucked into like where my back door is. And I'm wondering if they can leave any portion of that. That's my question.
Okay.
Okay, and actually, all the posts are in really good order on that fence.
Thank you, Joanne. All right, anyone else in the audience here wish to make a public comment as an opponent? Robert, you said there was Zoom?
Yeah, just bring it over. The screen name is Snickers Doodles.
All right, Snickers, go right ahead. Snickers doodles?
I think we should use
Are they
the pronoun
muted?
they until we're more
Are
certain.
are they muted? Maybe? No.
They're here.
The microphone seems to be off. All right, well, we'd love to hear from you, Snickers, if there's something that you want to say and,
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now?
there you are, yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Snickerdoodles is the name my son gave my phone. So my name is Andy Patton with Essex General Construction, and I'm the regional general contractor for Lumen Technologies, also known sister company is CenturyLink Telephone. They'll go by several other names, and they own that phone building at 132 Jackson Street in Cannon Beach. And
Excuse me.
So you're the applicant?
I am the
Sure.
applicant, yes.
Okay, one moment, please, yes.
We're hearing people who are in opposition to.
Okay.
That's
And
that's.
there was no one that was a proponent at the time of this, so I'm
And the
not.
applicant did not speak up, correct? So
Right.
I'm gonna look to staff to
So
see
the
how we
applicant
proceed.
does have the final
Yeah.
opportunity to.
Yeah. Okay, so, we're gonna move to, any other staff response?
I don't, but it sounds like.
Okay, so as the applicant, you may now have the floor.
Okay,
with
thank you.
with your mailing address, please.
Yes, my mailing address is 17400 Southwest 65th Avenue, Suite 100, Lake Oswego, Oregon. And I'm the regional general contractor for Lumen Technologies. Essex General Construction is our company. And that is a telephone building. So it houses the telephone systems within that serve Cannon Beach and up and down the coast, as well as the 911 servers that operate that building. There was an addition, 15, 20 years ago to that building, and I believe we installed that fence, or Lumen installed that fence, that's at least portions of it, the portions that have the 1x12 cedar boards that run vertical on that fence. And what promoted this to an issue for Lumen is they've had a number of intrusions on their property and some vandalism on the backside of their property from describe them as evening goers, I think. People walking up and down the street and walking around the building and attempting to open doors and that sort of thing. And so they're looking to get a little more security around their building. And the fence that's out there is 15 to 20 years old and is very tired. So they're looking to have something that will stop the average person from being able to just kind of crash through the fencing and provide a little more security to their cooling systems and their generator on the property. We would be, I'm not sure exactly who owns those fences. I think the the north and the east side were put in by Lumen. We would be happy to leave up any fence if that would assist in this project. And on the west side of the building, ocean side, the plan was to only bring it to the front edge of the building and leave the remaining fence out to the street. I think it goes out to the street or within 10 feet. And on the east side, it would only be parallel with the entry door, which is recessed quite a ways back on the property. I think it's only about 40 feet from the northeast corner of the property. And so there would be virtually a 4-foot gate on either side that might be visible from the street. The rest of it would be on the back half of the property. So with that said, we just want to provide a safe environment for the building itself and to keep the building operational is what we're trying to do.
Let me ask a question.
Thank you. All right, any questions for the applicant? Michelle?
Yes.
You have a question?
I don't understand why you wouldn't replace, is it just for security? Why you wouldn't replace it with the same cedar fence? Just replace the same.
Well, it's just not as durable. Lumen typically puts in a chain link fence. And that's what they've requested that I pursue.
Oh, durability is the main.
Yes, durability.
You're concerned about incursions, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
You're concerned about incursions, you're using chain link to keep people out?
That's correct.
Have there been any police reports for this activity that you are describing?
I'm not aware of any. They did not provide that to me.
But they're stating that there has been.
There's been, yeah, that is correct.
Are they coming through the existing fence?
I don't have the details on that. I'm sorry.
So according to the application, it says a 6-foot fence with the gate and you stated a 4-foot fence is.
Well, no,
Permanent?
sorry. It would be
Different.
6 foot. It would be 6 foot tall, but there'd be a 4-foot gate on either side of the building. 4 foot wide, 4 foot wide gate.
How would you get access through that gate? Is it going to be locked?
It would have a padlock on it, yes.
Is this an industrial building? It sounds like that is its main use.
I don't know that I'd call it industrial. It provides phone service for the community there, so it has all the phone landlines in it and some fiber running through it that provides phone service in and out of Cannon Beach.
Let's ask the question another way. Is it a residential building?
No, it's a commercial structure.
Thank you. So therefore, we have jurisdiction over the appearance of the structure.
Yes. Let's go.
I have no other questions for Mr. Patton.
One of the things that I looked at, as this is a residential, R2 neighborhood, is that this building was, a conditional use. And so, do you have any knowledge on what the planning commission's, requirements, in approving a conditional use for this building were, and whether a wooden fence was part of that conditional use? And by therefore changing that whether the DRB has jurisdiction over approving any alterations to this conditional use building.
I do not.
I have the same question.
I would think we have jurisdiction over any change of any commercial structure.
It's a conditional use permit, which is,
But that doesn't
Planning
necessarily
commission.
run with the land. A conditional use permit doesn't run.
but they have requirements in order to get their conditional use, which we don't know about right now. Part of that conditional use was having a wooden fence around the perimeter of that building.
Right.
We don't have a jurisdiction to change or alter that
There's a
conditional
lot
use
that we need to
requirement.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the record indicated that it was granted, on the condition that it remain consistent with the residential feel and charm and of this neighborhood. We've all gone by. It is a very residential, charming block.
You know, and it states in our ordinances, that fencing, screening, and landscaping is a consideration for a conditional use permit in a residential neighborhood. And so without knowing precisely what those requirements are, I don't know that, we can approve any alteration.
I have some questions for Robert, if I may. Robert, back to the sign question. These don't look like signs that the DRB has approved. This is a commercial structure. I see.
Signs on the no trespassing signs,
Yeah,
those have been considered, one, we would probably consider them as incidental signs. Two, I didn't even know this place existed until this application came in.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I was not familiar with this property until this application was submitted.
Okay.
Yeah, now I see 3 signs,
There's
perhaps 4.
There's 4.
There's 4, but it might be on the neighbor's fence.
2 of them are.
But there's 3 definitely on the structure. So presumably the DRB would have jurisdiction over the content, the construction, all aspects of those signs, would we not?
Potentially, this could also be considered as an incidental sign, which would not be subject to the DRB's review.
So as I understand, if this was a residential structure, I could have a sign that said F Joe Biden, whatever.
Yes, people have signs like that around town.
Pardon?
People have signs like that around town.
Yeah, but you could have 1. Is that right?
I do not have that code memorized right now.
Okay,
I want to say, probably, this would probably be a better question for the code enforcement officer at this point.
Right.
okay. I think this would be something I'd be super interested in learning, because this is kind of a hybrid situation. It's a residential neighborhood. This is not a residential
Building.
building. And I've got a real problem with how it looks from the street, and the signs are a big part of it.
Well, it states under conditional use 17.86.180 is that minimum impact of neighborhoods with consideration of material and aesthetic values. So
Absolutely.
it needs to stay aesthetically pleasing to the entire neighborhood.
Right, I wonder, Mr. Patton is in charge of the aesthetically pleasing part of that.
I would say the site design
That's what I-
evaluation criteria.
Yeah.
Prominently should include factors A, about the harmonizing with the natural characteristics of the adjacent sites and site. E, where the design relates or integrates the proposed landscaping and open space and any adjoining landscaping open space in order to create the neighborhood. And F, and the arrangement of the improvements do not unreasonably degrade the scenic values of the surrounding area. Proposed materials and colors need to be compatible with characteristics and coastal setting of the city under 1770-090C. So those seem not to have been complied with.
Agreed.
Sure, what's the best approach here? We could have a motion to not deny. We'd like to maybe learn more. So we could have a motion to continue.
Well, is it within the
No.
jurisdiction of the planning commission?
I don't want to continue. I think we should make a motion.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I move that we deny this petition.
Based on design criteria
Right.
Yeah,
do you
based on
wanna-
the,
and all of the above. I would like to second.
Can you specify what it is?
based on the non-residential appearance of a chain link fence.
I would say next to
6 foot
design
5.
criteria.
It just,
Debbie, can I, before I complete this motion, can I ask Robert one more question? We're all very attuned to 42-inch front side fence heights. None of this would appear, even though it is parallel to the southern border of this lot, none of these fences would be considered front fences.
Correct. The front fence is going to be considered the front of the house to the street. So anything running along the sides and the back.
Is not a front fence.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you for that clarification.
So your motion
And I-
is,
Well, I just want to add too, that, you know, by removing the wooden fence and putting the cyclone fence, I mean, there's 3 houses that are just gonna be exposed, you know, and was brought up during public comment that, you know, privacy is gonna be gone. And we, I think, received some letters in our packet that referred to that
yes.
with pictures, so.
So
That's
let me
another
restate my motion, and I think I'll use some of Helen's words. To the extent that the proposal is totally inappropriate to the neighborhood feel, I move that we reject the petition or deny.
Anyone else want to add anything to that? As far
can we
as
add to a motion?
Well, I just want to make sure that we get our criteria,
In there.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying, deny based on the design criteria and all of the things that are sections of the
Yes.
site. Design criteria, it's cut and dry.
All right, so he would add that to his motion.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to make it clean and fresh?
Let's start over. I propose, that we move to deny the petition based on its non-satisfaction of design criteria and its inappropriate look and feel to the neighborhood.
And the fact that it's a conditional use permit.
I don't know that. All I know, I think we could deny this based on this. I have many questions, and we've opened a can of worms on this property.
All right,
I'll wanna look at that, I'll wanna look at the signage, I'll wanna look at a whole bunch of stuff. But today we have things in front of us.
All right. Motion is on the floor. We have.
I would like to second.
All right. Tessa, can you call roll, please?
Board member Clausen.
And we're voting aye to deny,
To
correct?
deny the application.
Right. Right.
Board member Valora. Yes. Board member Brady.
Aye.
Board member McNaughton. Chair Giver.
Aye. All right, application is denied. Now that was the site plan. Do we need to have a motion regarding the landscape?
No.
Okay. All right. Uh. All right, next is consideration of DRB 25-57. No, that's not it. Jay Orloff on behalf of Brad and Susan Hartman. Wait, you skip. Skip something. I skipped something, sorry. Okay. I'll get mine. Okay, there we are. All right, consideration of DRB 25-16. Yeah, see, it says application for shade and fence. I love it. This is a quasi judicial hearing regarding Cindy Beckman on behalf of Ecola Seafood. Application to remove existing round window and close opening with existing siding. The location of the property is 208 North Spruce Street in a zone of commercial C1. Application will be reviewed against the criteria of municipal code chapter 17.70.8080. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the design review board to hear this matter at this time? Does any commission member believe he or she has a conflict of interest or personal bias? Has any commission member had any ex parte contacts or made a site visit? Site visit. And staff report, please.
Yes, the proposed project is the deletion of a 4-foot diameter second story round window facing South Second Street for the purpose of better weatherproofing the building. The window area will be infilled with cedar lap siding. There are no changes to the site design, the landscaping. And moving into the architectural design criteria. But it's not a staff comment. That's just something to remove and fill the window. That concludes our report.
All right, thank you, Robert. We call for public testimony. The pertinent criteria to be considered are noted in the staff reports and listed on the criteria sheets posted on the meeting page of the city's website. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed toward that criteria or other criteria in the comprehensive plan or municipal code, which the person testifying believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal based on that issue. Prior to the conclusion of the initial evidentiary hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional testimony, arguments, or evidence regarding the application. The design review board shall grant such requests by continuing the public hearing or leaving the record open for additional written testimony, arguments, or evidence. Persons who wish to testify shall first receive recognition, state their full name, mailing address, and if appearing in a representative capacity, identify whom they represent. Is there a presentation by the applicant?
Okay, my name is Cindy Beckman, PO Box 1159 Cannon Beach, Oregon. So basically, we are really sad to see the window, seem to be asking to see the window go. We've been there 32 years. It's kind of like our big core window. And stood for who we are. Our problem is that for the last number of years, we cannot weatherproof the window. We have had PV glass out multiple times. That window itself is actually 4 different panes. In the last 12 months, we've had 2 of the panes replaced, up to they're about $1,800 per pane because of the shape of them. Now we have a 3rd still failure. That, so if you actually go by and look at the window, you can see it doesn't look very good because 1/4 of it had another still failure. That's the 3rd one in 12 months. But beyond that, the biggest problem is PV glass has basically told us there's nothing they can do. They cannot figure out how to flash the window to not let the water come into the inside of the building. So on the inside of the building, we're getting damage. and it's coming down on the drywall, so this. We've always fought the round window and the sill failures, but not to the extent that has happened in the last 12 weeks. It almost seems like every time we're replacing maybe the quality of the window, I don't know, we're replacing the same exact window, but we just can't solve the water leakage problem. So, you know, we're sad to be in front of you guys, but we just feel like we have to do something because it's going to damage the structure of our building at this point. So we just want to replace it. This is the same siding. We replaced it at the front of the building in 2018 when we had our fire. This is the exact same cedar siding that's on there. It's a 3/4 inch clear vertical grain bevel siding. We would replace the outside, just close up that window and not be finding it anymore. Any questions? All right, what do we do next time? Sorry. This is new to me.
Well, I appreciate that. Anyone have any questions at this time for the applicant?
Maybe just a comment, you came before us for your beautiful, upstairs, roof, and I drove by the other day, maybe 7:30 at night. I didn't even realize you were open that late, and there were people enjoying themselves up there. And what a beautiful idea that was, and what an asset to Cannon Beach. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for approving it. We have just had tremendous, community support, and in the summer, a lot of times we don't see as many locals, but in the evening, we've seen a lot of people, just even after the flood, just lingering up there and just loving to be able to be outside. So thank you very much for approving that.
All right, any presentations by proponents? Opponents? Staff report or response? And any additional statements?
I did submit pictures of the rock just so you guys could see, but I do have an additional kind of question that's past this, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, because I'd like to get this approved. But I'm wondering, in the future, if we were to come to you, we're not prepared at all. What would be the feeling ever putting a big piece of artwork up there, maybe a wood crab or a big salmon? How would you guys feel about that?
Well, I don't know that we're gonna be able to discuss that at this point, but certainly something that if this is approved, you could talk to staff and they could direct you on how to move forward with that. I had a question as far as, so you say that there's damage, but I didn't see any pictures in your packet showing any water damage.
I did submit some pictures, so I'm not sure.
We send what we got.
Here's some pictures to see. Basically, I could probably look at the top and find them on my phone, if you want to see it. It is hard to see because it's up and it's left. Let me see if I can find it in the first one.
Well,
I just, but I did submit, the pictures to Steve, so.
I just worry about, one of our criteria is a monotonous look, and removing that window, even though you're talking about putting a nice piece of artwork up there, I guess, which might mitigate the window. So that was really my only, question was the damage.
I had a question about interior lighting and just, the monotonous look of, that's a pretty big roof. Or facing of the building.
So you're talking about on the inside?
On the inside, are you going to ask for?
Can't talk about
Well, we're not,
Do,
no,
no,
we have
we're
no
not
jurisdiction over the inside of the
Right.
building, so let's
But
Just-
on the inside, the roof is way lower than that.
Okay.
So when you're looking at this, on the inside, the roof is just barely above that.
Okay.
Side. So we had at one point thought we had wanted to replace it with a square window possibly, because, you know, we have these other square windows here.
Mhm.
We wanted to do something that wasn't going to be continuous headache.
Right.
But the problem is we can't do, it won't work because of the inside of the building. So. You know, so this is. This is the inside, just so you can see where it's superimposed.
Oh.
Because the inside of the window,
No, I.
and there's not enough room to come across, I think there's a different type of window on the inside. Cause the inside ceiling is lower than the outside.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
then. If you look closely here, like I'm gonna zoom in on my phone, you can see right here where all the drywall's coming
Okay,
away.
so, yes, that's,
So like if I zoom in on my phone and see where all the drywall, all this, see where it's separating, they're not able to reflash, they've tried. Multiple times they've tried to reflash this, PV glass, not us, because we were not able to. You can kind of see the drywall that they're showing away, and see the way the flashing here is like messed up. That's, and I mean, just because we got that.
The chain window that would be well sealed. And would you
Here's,
consider keeping that?
you mean the round window?
Yes.
I don't think we can, because according to PV glass, it's a specialist. And so this is,
You could obtain really good quality round windows
yeah,
that would be sealable.
our problem is the flashing.
Yes.
That's a big part of the problem, and the south facing. They've told us.
That window needs pressure flashing, but windows, they were flare and
Yeah.
you wouldn't need the flash.
Well, we've spent over $2,000 in a 12 months replacing these two parts of the window. Now we're gonna replace this part of the window. I mean, we're not going to, we were going to until you can see the seal failure. I am not convinced that we can replace that window on that south facing at that level and make it be weatherproof, because we've been trying and nothing's worked.
That particular window is difficult to see.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that it's gonna be doable, and. And
Alright.
that's what PV glasses told us.
All right, we ready for a motion or any more discussion, questions? Comments?
I move we allow the, removal of the existing round window and close opening with existing signage.
I'm
I
sorry.
seconded, I'm sorry, I seconded it, sorry. Were you trying to do what you?
Could we approve?
Yes, that we approve the application to remove it.
You have a second?
Yes,
All
that's
right.
my thing today.
Tessa, can you call roll, please?
Board member Rivera. Yes. Board member McNaughton.
Yes,
Board member Brady.
Yes.
Board member Coffin.
No.
Chair Huber.
Yes. All right, motion is passed.
Thank you.
All right. Now, we will move on to consideration of DRB 25-7. This is a quasi judicial hearing regarding Jay Orloff on behalf of Brad and Susan Carmen. Application to modify existing ADU. The location of the property is 163 East Madison Street in a residential medium density R2 zone. The application will be reviewed against the criteria of municipal code chapter 17.70.080. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the design review board to hear this matter at this time? Does any commission member believe he or she has a conflict of interest or personal bias?
Don't look at me.
Has any commission member had any ex parte contacts or made a site visit? And staff report, please.
Yes, the proposed project is a 57 square foot addition to an existing accessory dwelling or detached duplex constructed in 1943 as per Classic County records. This affects units, no work is proposed for the larger dwelling. We meet the approval criteria of the site design. The staff comment is that the subject property is a 5,000 square foot parcel. This is zoned R2 residential medium density. And accessory dwellings or duplexes are permitted in that zone. The cottage is a non-conforming structure in regards to its front setback, which is less than 15 feet. However, the proposed work will not expand the non-conformity and is permissible under the provisions of Municipal Code 1788-040 non-conforming structures. The structure may be altered in a way that does not expand its non-conformity as long as the value of the work does not exceed 50% of fair market value over a 3-year period. County records indicate the cottage is valued at $266,347. No changes to other improvements such as driveways, walkways, porches, etc. are proposed as part of the application. Moving into the architectural design criteria. The structural alteration will consist of 2 parts, a 57 square foot addition on the western wall and a new dormer with windows facing south for the property's second pass. The new portions of the cottage will be clad with cedar shade siding with white trim that will match those currently present. And moving into the landscape design, no changes to landscaping or exterior illumination are proposed as part of this application. And that concludes the staff report.
Thank you, Robert. We shall now call for public testimony. Pertinent criteria to be considered are noted in the staff reports. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed toward that criteria. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal. Prior to the conclusion of the initial evidentiary hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional testimony. Persons who testify shall first receive recognition from the chair, state their full name and mailing address, and if appearing in a representative capacity, identify whom they represent. Is there a presentation by the applicant?
Hey, Orla, Design presenting Brad Susan Harmon, PO Box 563, Cannon Beach, Oregon. Good evening, thank you for your time today. As Robert stated, we are looking to do a very small addition to the existing cottage cabin down on the property to just get a little more room inside for bedroom, bathroom. The extent of the addition is 57 square feet to the western boundary. We're also adding a 59 square foot dormer to the south. As you may know, we replaced the existing home that was behind it. That was the main residence. And we're trying to improve the look of the cottage to match the look of that. There's this new residence. Walking through our plans, our first page, AS 1.0, notes our site plan showing where the new addition is, its conformity to the setbacks, in addition to the landscape plan. If you have done a site visit or if you are familiar with the site, it's very well landscaped. We are looking to replace and leave as much as possible there. Really would be taken away more than adding in this design. Rita Fraley does regular maintenance to this property. She will be in charge of that in each landscape. Going to our A1.1 page, you can see the small addition on the western boundary, just get a little more room for bedroom and bathroom, and including the attic storage plan where the dormer is proposed. The dormer is less than 6'8" in height, is a non-occupiable space. We'll use for storage only. There's no code access up there or allowed. We also have our roof plan and volume page will be, on the east side of the structure, there is a similar design where a small bump out happens, bridge design. We will be mimicking that on the west side, continuing the roof lines in a similar fashion. And you can see that on our elevation page, for, west, you can see the new. The east, you can see the similarity between the east and you can also see the dormers, dormer with the 3 small square windows. We also provide sections, showing some of our frames as well. As noted with Robert, we are coming in under 50% value for the structural remodel that follows the lines of our allowance for a, non-conforming structure.
What was the,
Oh, no, I was just gonna thank
Please.
Jay and see if anybody had any questions.
All right, Pat. So did you do the calculations to see if the fair market value was going to,
Yes, that was the first thing I.
what was it?
It's, we're roughly, Robert says 260,000 for the valuation of the structure. I'm figuring we're gonna come around 100,000 for the.
Is it a rental, going to be a rental?
No, it will actually become, the cabin will become the primary residence for the owner.
Really?
Yes.
Sorry. It's my neighbor.
Yes, they have a second home, another home in Cannon Beach, and because of their, they're not here very often, they're looking to, sell that and use this one as their second residence. The main house is occupied by her sister.
Oh,
So it's all in the family.
Okay.
Oh, one thing I also forgot to note was that, we are going to be replacing that gravel driveway with grass creek in its entirety, other than a small apron in front of the garage. So all that gravel will be coming out, and that's gonna put us well underneath our, lot coverage calculations.
It's a pretty packed lot.
It is, but it will be coming in at 0.486 with our grass creek, where our allowable was 50%. So we'll be 4% or 1.4% under that.
Anyone else?
about how long will this take?
I do not know the construction schedule at this point.
Just got big, just.
Yes, I know,
built the house.
you've already been through one major. It will not be as intrusive as the last time.
It's okay, I've never.
Well, once again, Jay, thank you for a.
My pleasure. Thank you for your time, Mr. Major.
Any opponents, staff response?
Glad to know somebody's gonna live there. I'm always just curious. I want somebody to live there.
I think we can make a motion on all three.
Yes.
Yes, so if anyone would like to make a motion to approve the site plan, architectural design and landscape, now would be the time.
So moved.
You have to make the motion. Yeah.
Well,
She can't make the motion.
Someone would like to make the motion.
Oh, she can't.
Okay, so moved.
You can, oh, okay. So then somebody has to second, so I'll second.
Right. And Tessa, can you call the roll, please?
Board member Rainey.
Aye.
Board member McNaught.
Aye.
Board member Valerie. Yes. Board member Clausen.
Aye.
Chair Huber.
Yes. All right, approved. Thank you. All right, and then next is our motion for the chair to sign the appropriate orders. A motion would be needed for that.
Make a motion for the chair to sign the appropriate orders.
And a second.
Second.
And one more roll call, Tessa?
Board member Clausen.
Yes.
Board member Valerie. Yes. Board member McNaughton.
Yes.
Board member Rainey.
Yes.
Chair Huber.
Yes. All right, very good. Last item here would be our good of the order.
Happy. Send that right now, just in case it comes up. I have something to say.
Yes.
So I went to, city council and I'm having, a problem with the sign, the way that, I mean, I don't wanna, with the signs are going again. And, there's continuing plastic and that are not approved by us, by the DRB, and I'm gonna read the, from the, comprehensive plan that the design, it's general development policies, the design review board shall evaluate all development other than single family dwellings within the city to ensure that it's keeping within the design criteria of the zoning ordinance and is compatible with surrounding development. Now, I'm gonna say something else here. Okay, so, we are appointed by elected council members. They consider our backgrounds and our experience. We are representing the community and what we think is best for the community. The time that I've lived here, I've watched a tidal wave of plastic signs with plastic elements being allowed. Some approved by DOB, some approved by city staff. I, along with some of my other committee members, have been pushing of the importance to sticking what I personally believe is the intent of the code. When I read the code and under the approved material, it clearly says wood, and I believe with every fiber of my being that the intent is to highlight natural materials that accentuate handmade wood signage. I know Darwin is capable of this and he's made beautiful wood signs with lovely painting lettering. I believe with the stroke of a pen, the city is changing the character and the look of the feel of Cannon Beach. And with every new plastic sign, it feels like a devaluation to the architecture and the landscape that are so thoughtfully executed. I do not feel that it's up to city staff to use their own interpretation to what the intent is. That is in fact why DRB is here. So I can read the code where it says that the wood, it should be wood exterior, be painted or etched, wood windows on, part of an awning, sides consisting of other materials must be approved by a design review board. So I took a picture of the sign that had just been put up, and I'm assuming city staff has, approved it, but it's.
So I'm assuming you're talking about the waste.
Yeah.
Okay, the application for that, which has been posted online,
Yeah,
which I'd be happy to send to you, describes the sign as being wood and painted. So how did I fail to implement the city's code that you just read when the application material says it's gonna be wood painted?
not, there's a wood, but it's plastic in here.
Again, I do an application,
Yes,
the application says wood and paint. You are saying that I have failed to implement the code.
I believe so, there's plastic and,
Again, Michelle,
yes.
I did not build the sign. I approved it based on the application
Oh,
description.
so it's
Please
dark,
understand that,
okay, I understand,
okay? I approved it based on the application.
okay,
I did not build the sign.
so
If
then,
you have a complaint about a sign that was built, please submit a complaint through the code enforcement officer. That is the appropriate channel for this.
okay. I understand that,
Okay,
okay, so I go to the code enforcement officer, but I just don't wanna be wasting time or money. So,
right now, we're having this conversation, so that is the appropriate, way for you to do this. If you have a concern, if you believe that something is not being done correctly, please approach us.
okay,
Please go through the appropriate channel. Code enforcement officer is here for a reason.
okay, well, I feel like this just keeps happening, and I was.
And again, I don't build the sign.
Okay,
I approved it based on what the application says.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, gotcha,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes, of course.
All right, do we have any follow-up at all? When we approve something, or when you approve something, is there any follow-up? Or no one comes by to check, if they really build according to what they said?
Typically, it's not necessary.
You hope it's not necessary. Okay, so we don't have any follow-up, we don't have follow-up.
Generally, no.
But, yeah. Well, but like, with a building, there's a building inspector. But with a sign, and there's not a sign inspector.
That's correct. That's what, again, our code enforcement officer is for. If you have a complaint, please submit a complaint to him.
But he wouldn't normally follow up and run around with
He
a sign.
does follow up.
I mean,
He gets
That's
complaints.
his job.
yes, but he wouldn't be running around looking at signs.
We're not proactively policing everybody. No.
So does it take a complaint to, or somebody to, look at sign to get the code enforcement, or do they routinely look at it?
I believe I just said, please submit a complaint.
Needs to be a
Yes.
complaint to the
If you
city
believe
saying
there is
this is,
something-
okay, all
I
right,
believe that there is something that is not to code, you submit a complaint.
It just feels like we're putting the horse behind it here, like, it just keeps happening, I don't really understand. I mean, it's usually Darwin, and I don't understand how to fix this
And
problem.
I actually went and looked at that on this side, I didn't see any plastic on it, so I'm
It's just
curious,
that people.
I'm curious where, like, I've been out there to look at. I'm
You wanna,
curious where you're getting that determination that there's plastic.
there is 100% ABS plastic.
So please send me an email and follow
I did, I just sent it, and I mean, I'm happy to show everybody.
I have a question for Michelle.
There's laser cut ABS plastic, already peeling, a month old,
Michelle,
yes.
I don't think you're saying that the design review board is approving. I can think of one plastic sign in my tenure that we've approved, and that was the one, the kind of the beach mural that, like, okay, it would have been impossible if it wasn't laser printed.
Beach mural.
Down by the Wayfarer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like an extremely detailed haystack rock
Yeah.
educational thing. It's like, okay, I don't know how you carved that out of wood, but.
Yeah, it was educational purpose.
It was educational
Yes,
purpose. Made sense to me. You're not saying that the design review board is approving signs that are plastic, or are you saying we're approving them and then they're being built out?
No, they're going through a process without going to design review. Because we didn't approve, this Oasis sign just went up last month. It is vinyl decal lettering and ABS plastic details.
Right.
And so I guess it's just Darwin ignoring the code. So, I mean, and then I would say, I don't know, I
But
guess, when they give to the city, then they would
Without-
have to say what materials they're actually using. That's why I denied him, because he said brown and black, but he said paint, and he didn't say paint. It said brown and black color. So,
So I think we have to be careful about ad hominem statements, because Darwin designed the sign. Did he build it? The
this,
one that you're referring, or?
the Oasis one. Yes,
You know he built it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So the design process is completely different than.
and I'm saying like, I'm not trying to target this one person. People maybe don't know, but he does know, Darwin does know that he's using not approved materials. And maybe I should have brought this up while he was here, but we were talking about the other side. So, and I was like, I don't know, make him say, I don't know. But
No.
he's totally ignoring our code. And it's over and over and over again, we're getting more and more plastic. And,
So I can give you Daniel's email address if you'd like it.
oh, no, that's his phone number.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to like, okay, so he's wasted time and money doing everything. This has been going on since I've been on DRB, I'm almost done, 4 years. And I don't know how to fix this. How to make
Just
this,
this way, just file a complaint.
complaints, yeah.
but it's already happened.
Well, it'll come down if it doesn't follow if it didn't follow the plan, it'll come down. Isn't that what you want?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want people to make things, put them up, do their whole thing, and then have to like,
Well, we don't have to stew in our juices about it, it's just, let's make a complaint, it'll come down.
well, my suggestion to, well, whatever, I have more suggestions, but forget it. 2 more months of it.
Because what would happen now if the sign we approved tonight winds up being made out of plastic?
Yeah,
We've approved it,
yes.
but the only option you have is to go to pulling board.
Right. And then take it down.
It just feels so wasteful then too, like, okay, cool, you made a sign, now, like, because I just don't understand what's going on.
That would be his problem.
It's frustrating that the process takes so long. I understand.
It's no, it's not about length, it's about how this is a new problem. This is a new, in the last few years problem. And I think it's comes with the advances in technology and, things become simpler and turning into more and more AI and plastic. And it feels,
I think we didn't have a code enforcement officer for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And that may, where some of it is subjective and also personal considerations maybe for time and expense. But I totally understand and agree that there maybe has come a limit of just allowing, and you have to say that this is, not to code, so, but that is something that Daniel and our code enforcement officer that we currently have now needs to, somehow figure out how to address. And I'm not really sure, with the code, if there's some sort of a fine, if you are in violation and a time of correcting.
All of those things, but ultimately the remedy is to take it down.
Right, but you have to file a complaint first, because if it's been approved based on the application of materials that has been said,
well, and
then, and they go and do something else, then that's a clear violation, and I would think that that would be an easy one for Daniel to, present, so,
well, I understand you're super angry at me, but why wouldn't you just,
I think it should even brought this to our attention first. Before you accuse us of not doing our jobs.
I'm not saying you're not doing your job, I'm saying that if, like, I decided to ask the question of okay, what's the material, what's the paint, what, and if with the, if it feels like it would solve the problem if the signs, just all signs go through DRB, when you're not totally say if he gives you application, did you ask, what?
That's all the code says, it discount.
And-
The code doesn't require what signs to be, so there be more.
Yeah, but he, I'm assuming you didn't say, are you using paint and wood? He just said this. I don't know your process.
The application's posted online.
Okay.
Every whole decisions get posted online too, you have got to review all of these applications.
Yes. It's I didn't know what the process is you can do to. So I was just saying that because he didn't put it on his application for us, and I waited to be able to ask him. And
well, I think if there maybe is enough complaints that people will realize that they can't just fill out an application saying would and then do something else, that if there's actually, some enforcement of the fact that, but you first have to be able to pay attention and know the code and the violation.
I just did not realize that it was Darwin giving me improper information. That's.
Well,
I apologize, I didn't realize that.
That something came up and the price went over, and so they just, and yeah, that, I agree, it's not right, but. And that's where I'm gonna be curious to see how this little elk looks, on the sign that we approved. Because that seems like.
Well, this purple sunset sign came out fine.
Pretty detailed, painting, is what it looked like, but at any rate, point taken. Yeah, all right. Well, Tim, you had something that you were?
No, I just was making a question of Michelle, so I'm satisfied. I totally support your point of view that something's not built the way it was designed.
Or applied for.
We could.
Well, yeah, and it
Just send an email to Daniel and say, please check this out.
it's so backwards. It's not about
It's not backward. It is completely
It's
the
procedure.
way the procedure works. The application said one thing, we approved the application.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, and then if they didn't follow what's in the application, then it'll be backwards and then they'll have to take it down, but,
Yeah.
That's on them.
And the business is the one that suffers because their sign is down. So there's gonna be some reason why they want to comply in the future.
Well, and nobody wants to be the person that's going and being the rat, oh, well.
Someone, there's no other choice. 'Cause
Yeah, there's no other choice other than me calling Daniel all the time.
Enforcement is the only option.
Yeah, okay.
Valerie, did you have anything for the order?
Nope.
Harvey?
No.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Anita. Chair Anita.
All right, with that, we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone.